Hello and good evening, our beloved viewers. Welcome to this 9 p.m. edition. Here are the top stories. A special economic zone, a new lever for growth. And on the international scenes, Gaza under fire, 90,000 displaced and 420,000 new victims. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The Republic of Djibouti, especially at Ayla Grand Hotel, hosted the first regional conference on the challenges and the opportunities offered by the African Continental Free Trade areas through its special zone. The conference was held under the patronage of the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed and was attended by the Minister of Trade and Tourism Mohammed Warsam Diri and several high-level international figures.
Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed organized by the Ministry of Trade and Tourism in partnership with the AFCFTA Secretariat. The main topic of the conference was how to improve trade connections for growth that benefit everyone. The goal was also to show how special economic zones play an important role in developing Africa's economy to gather government officials, investors, experts, and key leaders to discuss the future of this area. The AFCFTA aims to create a single market with 1 billion consumers and a combined GDP of over $3 trillion. Special economic zones are seen as key tools to help boost local industries, attract foreign investment, and improve trade within Africa. However, the conference reminded attendees that special economic zones need to do more than just offer tax breaks. This conference was an opportunity step in the ongoing conversation about the AFCFTA, reminding everyone that behind the agreement and numbers, there is a shared goal to build a continent where everyone can benefit from economic cooperation and growth.
And now let's continue with the speech of the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Areas.
For some time over the last year, we have been discussing convening this conference, and I want to congratulate you for your vision in ensuring that this conference does indeed take place. It takes place in Djibouti, as we have seen on the video, a country that has established successfully the requisite infrastructure for trade and logistics. At the heart of this conference is a very powerful and timely question. How can trade, connectivity under the AFCFTA, contribute to building resilient economic opportunities, especially through the development of special economic zones, and ensuring that no country is left behind in the prosperity that is promised by the AFCFTA. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, resilience is for me the word in the theme of this conference that is especially relevant given the current trade global context following the imposition of tariffs on all African countries. We know that African countries will be negatively impacted by the imposition of these tariffs, mainly those countries that export to the United States under AGOA. We therefore must take this crisis as an opportunity for our continent to seize the moment, and an opportunity to deepen and accelerate intra-African trade. During the last session of the Council of Ministers that took place a week ago, the ministers agreed on the need to have a coordinated continental approach to respond to the tariffs imposed on the continent, and also to accelerate the implementation of the AFCFTA by ensuring that the modalities for intra-African liberalization of trade respond to the challenge of the day.
In his speech, the chairman of the Port and Free Zones Authorities, Bakr Omar Hadi, explained that Djibouti seeks to strengthen its position as a regional trade hub. Let us listen to the president of the Free Zone Authorities.
It is an honor to address you on this first conference on the challenges and opportunities of the African continental free trade. Today, we stand united in our vision, shape our prosperity, integrated and resilient future for our continent. The African continent is strategically located in the middle of the planet Earth. South of Europe, east of Asia, west of Asia, east of Americas, and bordered with the Atlantic Ocean in the west, and in the east, Indian Ocean in the north, Mediterranean Sea, and in the south by the Arctic. It is a natural land bridge for the world trade. It's God-made, it's not man-made, the evolution of Africa in the planet. It's a natural land bridge, I said, for trade, transport, logistics. With a population of nearly 1.7 million of population, with a GDP of about 3.4 million, the African continental free trade area is the largest single market in the world. Africa population will reach nearly 2.5 billion by 2050. Africa potential with unparalleled position, the continent has a key player on trade with 90% of arable land. Africa holds immense promise for agricultural growth and food security. It's abundant on freshwater resources. Further extending this position, Africa has 25 major rivers, including the Nile, Congo, Niger, Zambezi, as well as notable lakes like Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika, and Zambezi.
The President of the African Union, Mohamed Ali Yusuf, explained in his speech that the conference is a strategic step to enhance the role of Africa in general and Djibouti as a regional trade hub in particular. And the African continental free trade areas is not just free trade areas, he said, and it represents an opportunity to unite the continent's productive forces, stimulating the innovation and enhance the integration of African economies. Through initiatives such as Special Economic Zone, we can transform the promises of African continental free trade areas into tangible results, especially for our small and medium-sized enterprises. Djibouti is ready to play its role as a leader and initiators in this process. We are determined to strengthen our partnership with our neighbors, investors, and all African and international partners to promote inclusive growth, industrial transformation, and regional economic integration. We firmly believe that a strong Africa requires a strong cooperation and the strategic exploitation of our resources through the African continental free trade areas and our special economic zone, which have already been implemented. Djibouti intends to contribute effectively to building a single African market where growth opportunities are available to all the African companies. Large and small, medium enterprises can thrive to achieve these goals. Africa must be united, and the African continental free trade areas is our bridge toward this unity. I thank you for your kind intention and invite you to seize this opportunity to advance your continent's economic integration and share prosperity. Conclude the President of the African Union. For his part, the Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mohamed Warsame Dirie, also delivered a speech in this occasion in which he addressed the importance of this conference. He said Djibouti is a strategic link between the Indian Ocean and the Red Sea, making it a major gateway for African trade. By hosting this conference, Djibouti seeks to strengthen its position as a regional trading hub, deepening its integration into the African economy can provide practical solutions to the challenges challenges facing the intra-continental trade, said the minister. Finally, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed on this occasion also stressed and reaffirmed that as a host country, Djibouti played a central role in this strategic reflection thanks to its strategic geographical and location at the intersection of East Africa, the Gulf region, and Europe. Djibouti boasts modern infrastructure, port railways and free zone that make it an essential hub for intra-African trade. This conference, said the Prime Minister, marked a crucial step in the collective reflection on the African continental free trade areas. The Prime Minister recalled that behind the treaties and statistic lies a profoundly human ambition to build a continent where every citizen can benefit from the fruit of economic integration and regional cooperation. On the sidelines of the regional conference on the opportunities offered by the African continental free trade areas, a historic agreement was signed today, Monday, at Isla Grand Hotel. This agreement was signed between the Secretary General of the African continental free trade areas, the president and the president of Djibouti Chamber of Commerce, representing the private sector, but also the president of Port and Free Zones authorities. This strategic partnership aimed to enhance the development of a special economic zone in Djibouti with the aim of stimulating intra-African trade, attracting more investment and building regional values chain resilient to external shock. The Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed received in his office today the he received the Somali Minister of Trade on the sidelines of official opening of the regional conference on special economic zone organized in Djibouti under the auspice of African continental free trade areas, the Secretariat, and also the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed uh, received the Somali delegation and was led by Djiboutian Minister of Trade and Tourism. This meeting provided an opportunity for both parties to affirm their shared desire to strengthen economic and trade relations between Djibouti and Somalia, particularly through the effective implementation of African continental free trade areas and development of regional logistic corridors. Under the high patronage of the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mohamoud, the Minister of National Education, in cooperation with the Program for the Analysis of Educational System for the Member State and Conference of the Ministry of Education in Francophone countries, but also the government, organized this morning the launch ceremony for the administrator to collect data, evaluate the plan for international education system under the theme quality measurement, monitoring, reporting, advice, and training. The event was attended by the Secretary General of the Ministry of National Education, Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Mahyoub, the President of the University of Djibouti, Jama Mohammed Hassan, the Director General of Center for Vocational Training, Nim'a Hassan, official from the program for analysis, were attend in this conference. This occasion provided an opportunity for the minister to highlight the great importance of this assignment, which he noted is considered one of the largest educational survey conducted in French-speaking Africa, in which Djibouti participated along with 20 other countries. The evaluation will include a large sample of 170 schools and also 5,000 students and their parents. In his speech at the launch of these training courses for administrators, the Minister of National Education, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mohamoud, stated the objective of these courses, which is to enable administrators to follow the for this protocol, as it is the case in other countries, and in order to ensure a uniform coding of the students' responses from one administrator to another and from one country to another, conclude the minister. The national television captured the impression of a participant expert who emphasized the importance of measuring a student's basic skill in reading, the mathematic, identifying strength and weakness in their academic achievement to better target educational intervention and analyzing the educational environment in which students develop. Overall, it is an international assignment that allows us to significantly analyze, examine, compare, and study the success factor of the education system. It was today the National Library and Archive of Djibouti hosted the third edition of Djibouti Book Fair this morning. The event was a theme, the cultural heritage in general and overall, the the heritage in particular, under the slogan Solidarity Through Books and Reading. This exhibition highlighted the richness of our education and cultural heritage, emphasizing the importance of reading and cultural sharing. It was organized by the National Agency for Promotion of Culture under the auspice of the Ministry of Youth and Culture. The officials include Dr. Hibo Momin Assoui, the Minister of Youth and Culture, and the Minister of Higher Education and Researches were warmly welcomed upon the arrival. A 10 tour of the exhibition halls, which opened this morning and hosts more than 10 exhibitors, most of whom were well-known publisher and publishing houses in the country, such as Dikorama, Victor Hugo, and Francolin, as well as regional ones. As part of the third book edition, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Momen Asowe, inaugurated a Chinese window at the National Library and achieved this morning in both the French Academy. To mark the occasion, the Chinese embassy donate books to the library. This work cover various aspects of cultural and historic, enriching the collection and provide Djiboutian with access to diverse literature. The opening was followed by a performance by a Chinese troupe, which presented a series of traditional dances and music. It was a true moment of immersion in Chinese culture, captivating the guests and strengthening the cultural ties between Djibouti and China. In her opening remarks, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibu Mumin Assoui, emphasized the importance of cultural exchange and preserving global tradition. She also explained that this project symbolizes our country's openness to the world and strengthened relation between the Republic of Djibouti and China, while providing younger generation with access to rich and diverse cultural resources. The minister also expressed her gratitude to the Chinese partner for their support in establishing this cultural space, which is part of a series of initiatives aimed at promoting cultural diversity and providing new education, but also opportunities for the country's youth. As part of its ongoing effort to prevent risk, the Djibouti Geothermal Development Office, known as ODEC, organized first aid training courses in collaboration with the Department of Environment and Planning. These long courses held at the ODEC headquarters and was led by officer Mahmoud Omar and Khadija Hassan from Civil Defense. This initiative respond the need to prevent risk associated with high-risk activities such as drilling, geological survey, or geophysical analysis, which are often conducted in isolated location. Through this practical workshop, participants were trained on how to handle emergencies while waiting the intervention of a specialized emergency service. The Djibouti Geothermal Development Office extends its gratitude to Colonel Mohamed Musa, Director General of Civil Defense, for his continued support as well as to all his team for their professionalism. The course conclude with an official ceremony at the Djibouti Geothermal Development Office headquarters attended by Colonel Mahmoud Musa and Dr. Qayat Musa, Director, who jointly present a certificate from completion of courses on fire safety and first aid to the trained personnel. This measure is part of the preparation for a program founded by Japan International Cooperation Agency known as JICA and the Djiboutian government. The ceremony was attended by several officials from Djibouti Geothermal Development Office as well as a representative of civil defense. In his speech, the Director General of Djibouti Geothermal Development Office, Dr. Qayad Musa, welcomed the participants and praised their commitment, emphasizing that security is an essential element in file mission. He commended the excellent participation of the personnel involved and stated that knowing how to prevent is as valuable as knowledge. Dr. Qayad also added that security is a fundamental pillar of our work. In conclusion, the Director General of Djibouti Energy Development Office warmly congratulated the participants for their exemplary participation throughout the training period. And now moving on to the international level, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees said it is currently operates 115 shelters across Gaza, housing more than 90,000 displaced people amid the ongoing Israeli genocide in this tribe. The agency stated in a post on its platform account that the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees currently operate 115 shelters across Gaza, housing more than 90,000 displaced people. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.